Get Up Nation. My name is Biddick. I am the creator and host of the Get Up Nation podcast, where I serve individuals, organizations, and societies to develop and sustain resilience and perseverance.
I really value the opportunity to speak with you today, and I'm honored to have been chosen to be one of the voices that hopefully will impart to you an element of wisdom as you enter into adulthood following your achievement of graduating high school. Most of you don't know me. I've only spent a significant amount of time with three of your classmates, Taylor Solomon, Claire Mickelson, and Sam Smith, whose tireless determination and relentless drive helped raise tens of thousands of dollars with all of you for Isaac Johnson's family as this 5-year-old battles neuroblastoma cancer. It was awe-inspiring to see these student leaders galvanize the good within this student body, galvanized business leaders throughout Janesville and Rock County, and students throughout the Janesville School District, ensuring and reassuring Isaac's family that although Isaac has suffered more than most of us, he has also inspired and positively impacted more people than most of us have in our entire lifetime. I was honored to have worked with Taylor, Claire, and Sam. And if there are any employers here tonight who are interested in hiring some of the highest caliber young people out there, please take note of these three. In addition to shouldering their own numerous responsibilities and commitment in partnership with Dr. Bjoin, the leadership of Craig High School, all of you, the Janesville Police Department, and my nonprofit organization called United Patriot Missions, they helped alleviate some of the stress and suffering of the Johnson family, all in memory of Sergeant Dan Thompson, who I had the honor of serving with in the United States Army. Dan gave his life in Afghanistan in 2009, and it was an honor to help create the kind of America worthy of Dan's sacrifice in the gymnasium and hallways of Craig High School with Taylor, Claire, Sam, and all of you by supporting Isaac during his challenges. One of the finest people I know is named Justin Stubendick. He was the catalyst for this action in support of Isaac. He's a Janesville police officer, veteran, and cancer survivor himself, who notified me about Isaac and what he and his family were up against. There are certain people you will encounter in your life who possess such character, integrity, and passion that when they articulate a need, your only answer, no matter how busy you are or what's happening in your own life, is how can I help? For me, Justin is one of those people. Working with him, John Bartell, Taylor, Claire, Sam, Principal Bjoin, Officer Foster, and now Officer Yauk are what led me to be standing here in front of you all right now. So here we are. I'm going to give you my best today because that's what I expect all of you to pursue with your lives. Being the best possible version of yourselves every moment of your life. I would be doing you a disservice if I expected anything less than that. Keep that in mind if you're spending time with people who do not expect your very best. They will lower your trajectory. When you're humble enough to surround yourself by those who challenge you to be your very best and expect it, things will become possible that are even better and more exciting than any future you've dreamed up for yourself in your quiet moments of reflection about your future. You live in a country where friends of mine voluntarily sacrificed their lives to give you the opportunity to be your very best. So in return, and to honor them, I hope that you will show them and their families the respect of being your very best self every day of your life, because I believe that's what they would want from you. We're already getting somewhere if that's our mindset that we share during the next 10 to 15 minutes or the next 10 to 15 years. Now, let's swallow a dose of reality. If we start from the truth, we'll get somewhere meaningful quickly. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Many people spend their life in a mindset they'll get around to it maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe next week. If that's how you live, then you will be a barrier to your own mental health and a barrier to progress. Not merely your own progress, but the progress of those who share their lives with you. We affect one another by our action and our inaction. So as you experience adversity in your life, which is certain, you will be tempted in those moments to make excuses, to blame others, to avoid the problems in your life, or even worse, to avoid the fire within you that seeks to grow, build, develop, and achieve. I encourage you to allow yourself to realize that there is no guarantee you'll see 80 years on this planet in perfect health. If you orient yourself to this reality, you will have an excellent foundation for living a life that isn't wasteful. As your life comes to its conclusion, you'll be able to rest in knowing that you've lived without regret, that you were all in, and that you left nothing on the table. You didn't waste the miracle that was given to you. the miracle of being alive and being aware of it. Now that we've touched on some realities, let's evaluate the environment you are immersed in as you enter adulthood. Change is happening in our world at a rapid pace. If ever you hear yourself say, "But that's how we've always done it," then I can guarantee you you're already behind. Digging your heels in harder and feeling sorry for yourself in the process of change will only increase your discomfort. Also, if you hear someone else say that phrase to you, you need to sidestep them and respectfully pass them by. Many people expend amazing amounts of energy trying to make sure others don't achieve what they're too afraid to do themselves. So warm yourselves by the fire within you and respectfully show the way of living an engaged and passionate life by your example. Often the people who try the hardest to put out your fire are the ones who've allowed their own to be extinguished, and they become frightened by the cold darkness within them and how you remind them of the fire they once had. They might just find their fire again. Some of you are nervous. You may have anxiety, worry, or fear when it comes to your future. With the headlines what they are today, I don't blame you. It's normal to have anxiety when there are so many risks and unknowns. In hopes of relieving some of your stress, I want to tell you about a reality that has helped me immensely after dealing with some of the most nerve-wracking, vicious, violent, and disturbing realities in our world, and for some reason, still being alive to share with you what I've learned. And it piggybacks on what this excellent speaker said before about living in the present moment. Anxiety comes from being too heavily preoccupied with the future, a future that is dependent upon billions of other people's decisions, organizations, natural phenomena, and countries making decisions. The fact is, you are here now. You will never not be in the present moment. Can you take a breath right now, next week? No, you can only take the breath you're taking. Certainly make plans and have goals, but realize that the future is not here yet. And when it shows up, chances are it'll be different than what you expect. Sometimes it's even better than what you can dream up. Rest in that and trust as you remain in the present. The present is where you will always be, so develop the capability of honoring this gift regardless of your circumstances. On the flip side of that coin, the past is gone. If you allow yourself to be too heavily preoccupied with the past, you'll be tempted to torture yourself with shame and guilt. A heavy blanket of depression will climb up over your back and start to weigh you down unless you slough it off and get back in the present with all of its opportunities and grandeur. So be kind to yourself by realizing that whatever happened in the past doesn't mean it has to happen again. And if you failed in the past, it doesn't mean you'll fail now. And if you learn from your failures, you might just gain expertise, discipline, and a tenacity that creates success. As a member of the generation that has been given life just prior to your arrival on Earth, I wish this could be a celebratory transfer of responsibility and accountability from my generation to yours. I wish I could tell you that you're joining my generation in our collective time of adulthood and in celebration welcome you to a reality where our political parties work diligently together to resolve differences and solve challenges our citizens face in a definitive, objective, and lasting manner. I wish I could tell you that when you go to your church, school, grocery store, and movie theater, that it would never occur to you that someone could enter those places and commit an act of mass violence. So you can enjoy the brilliance of your life in peace and security, thriving as you pursue your highest potential without having concerns about your survival. I wish I could welcome you to an America where our ecosystems are balanced and stable, our oceans and coral reefs pristine, trashless, and vibrant. I wish I could welcome you to an America where each person accesses affordable health care, earns sufficient income to meet their needs during a 40-hour work week, where American citizens refuse to allow opiate addiction at epidemic levels to exist, where American citizens refuse to tolerate any poverty-ridden inner cities wrought with unchecked violence, where no child is exploited or trafficked, where there is no stigma for those who seek mental health care, and where respectful, rational thought processes are valued in our debates as we innovate, progress, and move our world forward. But you and I know this is not the America you're entering. So what will you do with your life when so many feel powerless, racked by anxiety or depression, and overwhelmed? Will you allow it to intimidate you? Will you allow it to make you a victim? Will you give up and cast yourself into a stale, awful purgatory of self-pity? Will you respond by filling your heart with hate and crave vengeance for all the wrongs ever done to you? will you let yourself turn into a manipulator that attempts to cope with adversity by inflicting it on others to take the onus off yourself? Will that be how you respond to fear and uncertainty? Or will you take a different approach? When I use the words love and compassion, you may be tempted to believe these are weak or soft attributes that exist only in fairy tales and communes in California. But I would caution against that mindset as well. I would pose to you that to live a life of love and compassion creates the fiercest warriors, the most reliable leaders, the soundest judgment, calm in the storm, and the deepest relationships people can experience that liberate us out of powerlessness, fear, shame, guilt, and self-pity. To live a life built upon a foundation of love and compassion leads to a refusal to let a 5-year-old boy suffering from cancer writhe in a hospital bed alone. It refuses to let mounting hospital bills add to the suffering of children enduring chemotherapy and radiation appointments as their parents pray at those bedsides, wondering what kind of world we live in. It honors our fallen service members' lives who made the ultimate sacrifice, not so that we could barbecue on Veterans Day and Memorial Day, but to live lives of such impact, depth, and meaning that our fallen will sense, wherever they are, that with you, that with this one, their sacrifice was well worth it. It doesn't matter the work you choose to do. It doesn't matter whether the college you go to is Ivy League or a technical school. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have or don't have. It doesn't matter if you drive a luxury car. If you place ultimate value in those things, you will discover the emptiness within them as soon as you get them. Instead, make the most of your present moments and use them to fulfill your potential. Be in awe of life every day and the immense opportunity you have to live it. Let all of your adversity deepen your ability to understand the pain of people, because it's not just your own. Chances are, if you are in pain, there are swaths of people who are feeling that pain too. You will begin to realize that the pain you feel creates an opportunity for action and impact that is unparalleled in its ability to liberate, console, heal, empower, innovate, and achieve. It will fuse you with the finest people on the planet and create veins of pure action and intention that relieve suffering and create impact that echoes through time unceasingly. Be that. Be that.